opera, and we'll get a second from Trustee Martin down there. Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Please join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so like we said, this is really more of a celebratory evening. A lot of exciting things going on in our community and in our schools. It just really is pretty incredible what's going on. We've been up to the fields, down over here. If the rain ever stops and stuff dries out, it'll be very exciting. But I appreciate all the athletes and all of our music students. I was in the high school the other day listening to our band go at it, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then more walkthroughs with all the good work that's going on in the high school, the library, and the science rooms, and the music room is just really incredible. So my hats off to everybody that's pulled that together. And I know Sandra and Mike Shore and our superintendent and everyone has really pulled together and tried to get this thing going. So without any further ado, I'd like to give to So what I'd like to do right now is we had a student of ours that passed away. As you know, Hope Antoni passed away after just a horrific accident, and then just really hung on and really fought to try to stay with us. But she passed away the other day, but it was very just really a very unique situation. Hope's passing saved six people with her organ donation. So what I'd like to do right now is let's just, if we could, just a quick moment of silence for Hope Antoni. Thank you very much. Our hearts and prayers go out to the Antoni family. Okay, what I'd like to do right now is let's try to get back up tempo again, and the easiest way to do that is to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Anthony DiCarlo. But before I go to Anthony, I just wanted to acknowledge that Christine Tona, our incoming Superintendent of Schools, is with us tonight. Anthony DiCarlo.
Thank you, President Mahoney. I want to make sure I do this at the beginning because sometimes you get caught up and you forget. So before we go into tonight's athletic award presentation, I just want to thank our athletic director, Mr. Steve Luciano, for his help in organizing this tonight, athletic secretary Ramonge, and district clerk Melanie Walker for your help in organizing tonight's certificates and award winners. Before I turn it over to Mr. Luciano, I want to read you something from the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. So they announced their winter, and they're celebrating the winter of 2022 Scholar Athlete Teams and Individuals. I want to read what Scholar Athlete Teams are all about. This winter, the New York State High School Athletic Association recognized 2,100 school athletic teams. To qualify as a Scholar Athletic Team, the team's grade point average, GPA, for 75% of the roster must be greater than or equal to 90%. Mahopac High School had every single team this winter recognized as a Scholar Athlete Team. So that is boys basketball, girls basketball, bowling, hockey, track and field, skiing, cheerleading, girls indoor track, girls skiing, gymnastics, and wrestling. So we were 12 for 12. That's absolutely unheard of. So student athletes, congratulations to your coaches, because I know how important student athlete means to them. And then, of course, also to your parents for instilling that love for sport, but also understanding first that academics are paramount. And I will tell you in the next number of months, when when you see the accolades of this senior class and what has gone on and is going on academically, and the schools that these young men and young women are getting into is absolutely unbelievable. And that just speaks to the quality of our program. So once again, congratulations. And Mr. Luciano, I now turn it over to you.
This is a new setting for me. I've never been to this auditorium for a board meeting before. Before I get started, I do want to thank our coaches for the winter season and our student athletes. We have an amazing group of student athletes here at Maypac. Being here 2 years now and getting to know our student athletes and our students here, I'm very lucky to have such an amazing group of young men and women to see perform every day, practice, their dedication in games, practices. It's amazing what we have here at Maypac. And being an athletic director for 15 years now, this is one of the most special senior groups that I've ever seen or been a part of. Their leadership that they've given to our programs has just set the foundation for our younger grades to live up to moving forward. And the bar has been set pretty high. I'm excited to see where this goes. In all honesty, I wish I had more time with you guys. It's been an honor to see what you've done the last 2 years, and you're going to do great things once you graduate here. So, thank you for just being great for the last 2 years. So, best of luck to you guys. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to do our team awards. We had our boys and girls basketball team each win their leagues. Both of them were undefeated. I don't know if we've ever had 2 teams from the same sport go undefeated in league play and win a league championship. So that's a heck of a feat, and their dedication and their work commitment throughout the season was tremendous. And things might not have gone as well in sections as we wanted, but their seasons are one that they'll always remember, and it was fantastic. So I'd like to start with the boys basketball team. I'd like to first introduce our coach, Tom McMahon. Our assistant coach, Coach Pat Calrock. And now for our team members. We have Brian Riley. Matt Jones. Michael Callahan. Colin Ranahan. Joey Gracia. Greg Perry. We have Joey Koch, but he's at a baseball game right now. Jake Cousins. Patrick McVan. Anthony DeMatteo was also at the baseball game. Sean Massett. Liam Dodd. Larry Reyes. Phil Salmon. Jack Moore. And we had a few individuals that were brought up to the JV team for the playoffs. John Carney, William Scanlon, Thomas Rory, and Danny Koch. I'm going to go off script a little bit. board. So Patrick, come on, please.
I'd first like to start off by thanking the Board of Education, Superintendent DiCarlo, Mr. Luciana, Brenna, and everyone else who helped this team along our journey this year. Seeing all of you pile into the packed stands at our home games, the crowd going wild, and you guys right beside them shows how involved you are with this community. Superintendent DiCarlo sitting courtside and celebrating every time we hit a big shot or made a good play was always a highlight in the film room. Also, Mrs. Bonget answering every athlete's questions, most importantly being, are the sandwiches here yet? She would always give out fist bumps as we crossed paths in the hallway walking into the gym, and was always there to pick us up after a tough loss. I'd be remiss if I didn't make a comment about our girls varsity team, who had a phenomenal season and allowed for us to cheer them on while showing off our most ridiculous outfits. Something that I found interesting this season that Mr. Luciano brought up was that both teams were undefeated league champions, which has not happened in this school in a very long time. Now, to wrap it up and to give thanks to the best group of guys a captain could ask for, we put PAC basketball back on the map and gave respect to a program that put respect to this program we haven't seen in years. To my dad and Coach Calabro, thank you for being great basketball minds, but more importantly, excellent role models. You guys created a culture in this program that will live on for a long time. This team and I wouldn't want to be led by anybody else. We are all eternally grateful for this community and the atmosphere they provided during the season and moving forward in our lives. LGP forever. Thank you.
And now our coach, Mr. Thomas, would like to say a few words.
Kid's a tough act to follow. Thank you again, Superintendent DiCarlo and the members of the Board of Education for recognizing our student athletes tonight. I would like to take a brief moment and express how proud I am of these great kids. Their athletic accomplishments are well documented and are well deserving of tonight's recognition. However, and Superintendent DiCarlo already stole my thunder here, they also earned New York State Scholar Team. And Superintendent DiCarlo explained how difficult that is to get. And I'd just like to point out, this is the most important accomplishment of their season, their academics. I would also like to thank the students in APAC and the community at large for the support they showed our team this season. As Patrick mentioned, it was great to see PAC gyms back in the PAC. And the loud crowds and everybody that came out, the number of texts we would get after games, before games, the people that came, community members, students, it was truly amazing. I really wish everyone understood what it meant to these kids, although I think Patrick pretty much gave you an insight how important it was to them to be able to experience that, particularly for our seniors who have lost so much. Lastly, I'd like to thank Matt Calabro, Anthony Nappi, Ryan Leone, Steve Luciano, Lynn Mongan, and Brenna, who were absolutely fantastic, and we could not have done anything that we did this season without all of those people. So thank you so much.
And now we're going to honor our girls basketball team, who were also league champions. We have our assistant coach, Jason Conklin here. Adriana Pranzo. Julie DeBrocchi. Piper Clammer. Fiona O'Boyle. Katie Watts. Gianna Rispoli. Jess Service. Christina Rush. Brianna Ferrari. McCartney. And Lauren Bieberman. Just informed by Coach Conklin that she received honorable mention All-State for this season, so that's a heck of an honor. So congrats, Lauren. The last team award we have for tonight, a pretty prestigious special award. Our hockey team. You know, they might not have had the strongest record this year, but I never saw a group of kids stay together for an entire season and work as hard as they did. They easily could have thrown in the towel, quit during the season, and not made it a quality season. These guys came to work every day, improved every single practice, every single game, and made it a great season for everybody involved. And Section 1 named us the Howard Cassell Sportsmanship Award for the entire team. That's what's going on.
I just want to take a second just to recognize the importance of this award. Because it's always easy when things go wrong for people to be critical and say things. But these are the kids who represent us. And, you know, to have a sportsmanship award because of their desire to, you know, support teams, whether they win or lose, is a testament to who you are as a group of young men and women. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I know the Board of Education truly appreciates us getting this award. So congratulations once again. Thank you.
Both our hockey coaches wanted to be here for this because it meant a lot to them for how the team performed. And it's a testament to the coaching staff as well. But both coaches coach spring sports and they had games tonight, so they weren't able to be here. But our coaches, Tim Donahue and Sean McGee, were absolutely tremendous this year. And I want to give them credit for this award as well. We're now going to move into our individual awards. We're going to honor our winter athletes who were all league, all section, and also who qualified for our state championships this year. We're going to start with Jordan Donato, ice hockey. Lila Greco, cheerleading. All league and all section. Juliana Greco, all league and all section. Mia Caldarella, all league and all section. Alexis LeBlanc was also all league and all section. Alexa Belusevic was all league and all section. Isabella Chiotti from cheerleading was all league and all section. Jenna Duffy was all league and all section for cheerleading. Kira McDowell was all league for cheerleading. And our cheerleading team, they were also runner-up for the Section 1 championships this year. They had a great performance, and I think they only lost by a few hundred tenths of a point. They put on a great show, and we hosted the championships, and they finished runner-up in the section. They were fantastic. Now we have Lexi Kashkara from gymnastics. All league and all section. Leah Grapp was all league. She also qualified for the state championships. Leah Grapp. Kaylin Gallant was all league and all section. Kelsey Thim was all league and all section for gymnastics. And Leah DeMaze was all league. This one is important to me on a personal level. I also am the section 1 coordinator for bowling. I run bowling for the entire section. And we had 2 of our bowlers qualify for the state championships this year. One of them is here tonight. And we also had another bowler who was named the Putnam Westchester Bowler of the Year, Girls Bowler of the Year. Unfortunately, she can't be here today. But Gabby Marino, who was all-league, all-section, and she represented Mayfair in the state championship this year, did a tremendous job. And softball 193. I think actually, Alyssa Arzaga, she was all-league, all-section, qualified for the state championships, was the Westchester Putnam Bowl of the Year. I think she's actually working at a bowling alley right now. So, unfortunately, she couldn't be here. So, Alyssa had a tremendous season. Alyssa Arzaga. And Emma Long for bowling, all-league. So, boys basketball, all league, we have Max Gomes, Michael Callahan, Michael is also all section. Patrick McMahon is all section and all league. Big Colin Ryan, all league. For girls basketball, we have Belton Dale, all league. Julie Brocky, all league. Christina Rush, all league. And Lauren Biederman. Next to it, we have wrestling. We had 3 wrestlers qualify for the state championship, which is huge, and they all did a tremendous job. Our first wrestler that I'd like to honor, Angelo Centrone. I don't think Angelo is here today, but Angelo is a 3-time Section 1 champion, 3-time All-State champion, had over 100 career wins, had just an amazing career here at Mayapack, and it was tremendous watching his intensity wrestle. He's going to be wrestling at the college level at Portland next year, where I went to, so I'm very happy for that. But Angelo was represented Mayapack very well, absolutely tremendous. So congratulations to Angelo. Next we have Nick Greco. Nick was all league, all section, also qualified for the state championships. I think Nick's going to even have a big year next year. We're looking forward to seeing where that's going to go. Nick Greco, come on up. Our next young man, George Johnson, an 8th grader, was all league, all section, and also qualified for the state tournament. So for an 8th grader to have all those accolades, I cannot wait to see what he does grades 9 through 12. So George Johnson. Sam Drozmilski was all league and all section. And Joseph Ramirez was all league and all section for wrestling. I have one more award to do. I just wanted to thank the board real quick for allowing and giving us the opportunity to have flag football this year. I cannot thank you enough for what it's done. We have some flag football players. Very good. At the last board meeting I attended to honor our fall athletes, but I think Mr. DeCarlo has 2 board meetings left after this. He was nominated and he won the New York State Athletic Administrators Association Section 1 Distinguished Service Award. One of the major reasons why I came here was to be able to work with this man. I've seen him at meetings. I know how invested he is in the community here and what he's done for MAPAC, not just the athletics, but for the community. We've hosted Section 1 championships here. He's always been he goes to athletic council. He was an athletic director at one point in his career, so he understands what we do. I can't go on enough what he's done for Section 1 athletics, the MAPAC athletics, the MAPAC community. It's sad to see you go, but it's a well-deserved retirement. But congratulations, Mr. Carlo, at New York State Athletic Administrators Association Distinguished Service Award, Mr. Anthony DeCarlo, 2022.
Thank you, Steve. It's the New York State Athletic Administrators Association, but this is our award. This is not my award. Okay? This doesn't happen if you don't live in a community that really understands the importance of sports and extracurricular activities. To the board, thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to sit on athletic council and executive. It's meant the world to me. Thank you for allowing and trusting me to be a part of that. To student athletes, we went through COVID, okay? And part of what happened on the state level was because of all of you and your family's dedication to getting involved in advocacy. But this just doesn't happen, okay? So I'm honored and humbled, but this is our award, the community award. And I can't thank you all enough. And God bless you all for allowing me to do what I've done for the last 4.5 years. It's been an absolute honor. I have 2 months left, and we're going to finish up strong. So thank you all again, and thank you very much. Okay, thank you again. We're going to continue on. We're going to honor, a number of weeks ago, back on April 7th, it was the 37th annual Putnam County Youth Awards. And every year, the Putnam County Youth Bureau honors seniors and juniors throughout the county and all the high schools for those who are participating in so many different community service hours. And we were honored this year to have 5 recipients receive awards. I was also humbled because I was the keynote speaker, and I was really amazed by the number of hours that these young men and women put into community service. And many of you that are sitting here in the audience who are adults, I know the hours that you put in as adults in community service. So when we get these youth to be able to start to do that, they're going to do some special things. Our first award recipient who received the award was Emily Pontillo. Emily has dedicated and volunteered time to the child's crafts at the 4-H events at Tilly Foster. She's coordinated 4-H Giving Tree for Cove Care, 2021 PC Youth Forum. She was on the planning committee, and she is involved, she can't be here tonight, she's involved in the Legacy Project. I just want to read you a little bit of what was said about Emily by some of the people who put her up for the award. Emily is a wonderful young lady who demonstrates leadership in everything she does. She enjoys helping and making a difference. She is a true team player as it is able to interact with people of all ages. She is not afraid to try or learn something new, and she's willing to help where and when needed. So Emily, congratulations. So the next recipient, next young man, truly really embodies what youth court is all about. When I heard a little bit about Kevin, and I'll read that to you in a second, and his role in youth court, and his admiration to Judge Jim Reese that night was unbelievable. Those of you know, we lost Judge Reese a number of years ago. He was just a pillar of our community, and really, you know, the man behind the scenes of the youth court. Kevin has embraced volunteering and being a mentor. I just want to read to you a little bit about what was said about Kevin. Kevin Whitmarsh. Kevin has been an active member of the Putnam County Youth Court Program since September of 2016. One of the major goals of our youth court program is to give youth offenders in Putnam County a second chance. Our youth court members, such as Kevin, do this by taking on various court roles and hearing youth cases in an actual court. He is great at keeping our members on task during and after youth court cases. He's always sure to make sure he's available to help other members when questions come up about cases. He brings with him to every youth court case his leadership, creativity, and outstanding personality. He's mature beyond his years. Kevin Whitmarsh, congratulations. Our next award recipient is Kaylee Ann Hammond. Kaylee has done a lot of work around the community at Mayapack High School, helping to lead out overgrown gardens, cleaned up Chamber Park and our bike path in town, cleaned up on campsites in our areas, and has really worked really hard with our Girl Scouts troop in planning and shopping and organizing events, and being the head of the pajama program. What was said about Kaylee Ann is she's extremely positive and is undaunted by even giving of herself in all types of projects, whether they're small or large. She takes her role in the Girl Scouts very seriously, while she enjoys the company of her fellow Scouts. She is always very active in whatever activity we're involved in. Troop 1286 has been active since Girl Scouts, and she has been active with them since Girl Scouts and Daisies. They are very fortunate to have Kelly involved with their troop since 9th grade. They thank her for her dedication and her time and her energy. Kaylee Ann, congratulations. Next we have Rebecca Lazar. Rebecca continues to do incredible work at Temple Bet Shalom. She's a teacher assistant. She's a youth event coordinator. She helps in stocking and organizing the food pantry at Brewster. And she helps organize carnival planning and leading different types of organizations within the Temple Bet Shalom community. Again, a brief note about Rebecca. Rebecca worked as a teacher assistant in grades K-7 at Temple Bet Shalom. After graduating from the same program, she was eager to give back to the next generation. She helped them learn how to read and write in Hebrew, Israeli geography, Jewish holidays, and more. Rebecca encouraged interactive discussions and creativity in projects and activities regarding these topics. She's eager to share her knowledge and she demonstrates an excellent work ethic. At the Temple, she always knew that everybody could depend upon Rebecca when needed to help out both with the youth and the elderly. Rebecca has been loved and admired by both her teachers, her assistants, and all of the children that she has taught. Rebecca Lazar, congratulations. And our last award recipient is Emma Daniels. Emma has done an incredible job active in our Interact Club here at Mayapack High School in the leadership of Mr. Reverson. She continues to put in hours and hours of dedication to the club. Just read a little bit about Emma. Emma has been an active member of the Mayapack High School Interact Club for her entire 4 years at Mayapack High School. She has been extremely active in all the club's activities, both inside and outside the school. The past 2 years as a club officer, she has mentored younger members as well as organizing activities. Her level of involvement in the club has made it easy to pick up and vote for her because she just does an incredible job. Everybody loves her. Emma makes everyone feel needed, cared about, confident, understood. She appropriately delegates, making sure everyone has an important role. We congratulate Emma Daniels. Congratulations. Again, congratulations to all tonight's recipients. And then next, we have our Research Science Award winners. This took place on March 24th. High school students from Westchester and Putnam counties were honored at the 21st annual Regeneron Westchester Putnam Science Engineering Westmead competition. I'm happy to say that we had 4 students awarded that night. Our first was Mateo Perillo, who was a senior. His category was chemistry. His project title was Improved Pretrial Method to Predict the Ability of New Additives to Increase Stability of SN PB Perovskite Solutions. Say that a couple times. He was awarded the Rich Sustainable Development Award. Mateo Perillo, congratulations. Mateo, can you tell a little bit about what was that?
Yeah, so I'd just like to thank everybody for being recognized for this at this meeting. So my project was essentially looking at a new branch of solar panels in research. And I researched a way to kind of help them make them more stable so they can be used at a commercial scale.
Congratulations again. Next up is Emma Rooney. She's a junior, category engineering. Her project titled Testing the Hardness of Resins. The first step to 3D printed mouth guards to prevent mild traumatic brain injuries. Wow. She was awarded today's Students Tomorrow's Engineer Award. Congratulations to Emma Rooney.
I just wanted to thank everyone, and of course my science research teacher. I couldn't do this without her, Ms. Stevens. I decided to test the hardness of resins to determine which ones to use for directly 3D printed custom-made mouth guards, because as an athlete, I know of the widespread problems of mild traumatic brain injuries, so I wanted to do a research project to prevent that issue and prevent athletes in the future from receiving this mild traumatic brain injury.
Next award recipient that night was Sydney Maskell. She's a junior, category behavioral science. Project title, Examining the Differences in the Traits/Behaviors of Individuals with Autism Spectrum Disorder. She was awarded first place in behavioral science and top finalist selected to attend Genesis Olympiad, an international science fair typically showcasing the work of 1,200 students from 75 countries. Congratulations, Sydney.
It really just examined deeper the differences between males and females with autism spectrum disorder, since there's such a gap in diagnoses. And in the long run, proper diagnosis or an accurate diagnosis can really help people have access to the resources and knowledge that they might need in order to have an easier time in adulthood and be more successful in life. So thank you.
And we have our last award recipient is Diana Souza Soto, senior, category behavioral science, project title, Preventing Nightmares, Effects on Lucid Dreaming, Induction Techniques and Dreaming, Bizarreness and Degree of Individual Metacognition on Lucid Dream Frequency. Wow, so that a couple times. Emma was awarded second place in behavioral science. Diana, come up and get your award. Congratulations.
And my project was observing individuals who suffer from PTSD, depression, insomnia, and anxiety, who usually have frequent nightmares. And the idea was to use lucid dream induction techniques to mitigate the effects of having severe nightmares every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you tell everybody in the audience the Board of Education, come up here, the schools that you were accepted to? Would you tell them, please? This is unbelievable. Listen to what this young lady's going to tell you.
I got into Columbia, Carnegie Mellon, Duke, Northwestern, Johns Hopkins, Tufts, UPenn, University of Southern California, University of Michigan,
The town for what program? The town for what program?
for biomedical engineering.
So I'm going to say in a court of law, I rest my case, Your Honor, for what I said before. Just incredible. The four of you were so proud of you. But I want to echo what's going on at high school. Science research, our Project Lead the Way, the incredible comprehensive high school that takes a day back, where our kids are going and what they're doing. It's just unbelievable. So you two are so proud. The four of you and everybody here tonight that we awarded. Again, congratulations. We wish you all the best. Those of you going on to college and career, and those of you coming back, continued success. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Now we're going to have Mr. Del Campo and the library board come on up. I think they want to thank the Board of Education. So, Frank, you and the board, here you go.
You know, I'm not used to having my back to the people I like and love and do such great work, but forgive me. And I want to introduce the board members that were able to come with their schedule. Stephen Marinowski, okay? We have Eugene Walsh, my vice president, and I know Irene is here, my secretary, and our CEO and director, Michelle Capizzola. But the other five who are on the board, we have 9, said please let them know we really thank them for all the work that you do, which I will explain in a minute, and thanking Anthony. And that would be Joe Todd, Joe Montori, Scott Weiss, and Elizabeth Costello, and John Batista. I think I got everybody. Yes, they just couldn't be here with their schedule, but they know how closely Anthony has worked with us, and I will share how we're thoughtful and thankful for what you all did in moving towards our June 7th vote on our capital plan. But Anthony, I want you to come over here because, you know, I never shared this with anyone before, and I have to do this, you know. When I was a supervisor of the town of Conway, a young man who I really, really loved, his name was Jimmy McDonough. He was on my town board at the time, and those were the times when bipartisan was the name of the game. We really got along. In fact, Dick Alpler, whom I replaced, used to come in every month for a cup of coffee, and he's just a wonderful person. God rest his soul as well. And Jimmy would say to me, by the way, I know you're going up the county executive office, but I got a great candidate running in November. And really, who is he? His name is Anthony DiCarlo, and he's fantastic. He's a school administrator just like you, and he loves sports, he coaches, he's in the back sports, he's a fantastic guy. And, oh, that's great. Well, Anthony did make the town board. He then went to the county and did a remarkable job for the town and the county. But tonight, we think he did an enormous job in the 4.5 years as our superintendent of schools. And I would like to read the resolution that we as a board did, and it was unanimous last month at our monthly meeting. Whereas Mr. Anthony DiCarlo, who resides in Mayapack, has worked in education for 40 years, amazing. Whereas Mr. DiCarlo was hired by the Mayapack Board of Education as superintendent of schools in January of 2018. And whereas, as superintendent of schools, he has brought the school and the community together. As all of the school budgets, and this is amazing, were clearly explained and cost-effective, that resulted in all being affirmed each year of his tenure. Whereas Mr. DiCarlo, with the assistance from many stakeholders in the community, and he asked me to help out, I was just one of a bunch of other people, directed and succeeded with the $52 million capital plan of much needed upgrades to our school facilities. These are the schools my children went to in the 70s and 80s. They certainly needed this repair. Whereas Mr. DiCarlo steered the Mahopac district through a very difficult and uncharted waters of the pandemic, which with much success. And whereas Mr. DiCarlo guided and helped facilitate a curricular area for the elementary schools to make sure they were on the same page at the same time. And as an educator myself, that is not just a phrase. To be on the same page at the same time means you're growing every month that you're in that classroom. And he has to be credited and his teachers. And whereas the Mahopac school staff continues to work closely with our library staff and with our administration, Michelle and her assistant and so many of the staff, to serve and enrich our students throughout the school year and during the summer recess. So it doesn't just end in June, and we thank Anthony for allowing that to happen. Therefore, the Mahopac Library Board of Trustees wish to acknowledge our appreciation, Anthony, and gratitude to Mr. DiCarlo for his many positive contributions to our community, and extend our best wishes to him and his family on his retirement effective June 22. This is signed by the Mahopac Public Library Board of Trustees, and I just happen to be the president. It's no big deal, but I'm the president, and they're a great group of people. We all are a team. You know somebody, I get a little sad. You were fantastic to me. Anthony, you can say something, but I want to also thank the board. I hate my back being to them. I never do this. But you know you were a big help in getting us to get this vote set up. And Melanie, thank you for your diligence of the paper. Thank you. This is going to be a great experience. It's just a great partnership. I know it's rough to but I really ask, and Andy said he would allow it after these weeks, to have Michelle just tell the public a little bit about our capital plan. That'll only take a few minutes. Michelle will come up. Come over here.
Thank you very much again. It's an honor, and we really truly understand the importance of the collaboration between the Mahopac Central School District and the library, because that's where learning happens. Both during school, after school, a lot of our students go by and sit and read books and do their homework together. And then the programs that we have during the summer are incredible. So on behalf of myself, my cabinet, the Board of Education, my administrators, students, we thank you very, very much for the partnership. And again, thank you very, very much. I'm very humbled. Thank you.
I'll be brief. So on June 7th, the Mahopac Library is going to have its annual budget vote and trustee election. But this year, there's going to be a bond proposition on the ballot in the amount of $3,154,283 for major improvements to the building's energy efficiency, which includes insulation, sealing, as well as upgrades to the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. The proposition will not increase taxes because we are just carrying over, we paid off the bond from the building, and now we're just carrying that over to pay for this bond. So there will be no tax increase. Matter of fact, the library has not increased our levy request for the past 4 years. So it's been flat. The project is subject to public bid. I've just seen some questions. So yes, we are subject to public bid as per general municipal law. So if the bond passes, we will prepare bids and we will put them out there. You can visit the library's website. This is important. We have a webpage dedicated just to this project. It's www.mahopaclibrary.org. You can go on, there's a big yellow button right at the top of the page. You click it. That page has a lot of information on it, has my contact information. If you have any questions, if your people have questions, please call me because it's just really important that we get the correct information out there. Also, we're going to have a meeting on May 4th. At 2 o'clock p.m. You can attend virtually, you can attend in person. I'm going to leave some bond information booklets and I'm going to leave some little bookmarks with the information about how to register for that session. So it's going to be on the third floor in the community room, and like I said, you can attend virtually as well. It will be recorded, and it will go up on that website. And we're going to have our architect there. We're going to have our construction management, 2 people from the construction management company. So in case you have any more in-depth questions, I can answer, a lot of questions, but if you have particular questions about the project, the scope is on the webpage too. So please check the webpage. If the bond passes, we are going to put a lot of information on that webpage. It'll be updated, all the costs and expenses that are going to be up on that webpage, because the board and I are dedicated to be very, very transparent. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave these here. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks again.
All right, such exciting times, great and well-deserved rewards, and awards, I should say. My congratulations on behalf of the board to everyone who received awards this evening and honors. Just truly incredible that going on in this community. Right now, just a little board housekeeping. We didn't have any comments on agenda items, so as he's been doing all evening, we'll turn it right over to Anthony. He's rested up and got a little swig of water.
I really, it's going to be brought to the quick. Yeah, that was kind of the report. Just a couple of reminders. This is our last board meeting before our budget vote. So I want to remind everybody, on Tuesday, May 17th, is the annual board budget vote, as well as our trustee election. It is from 6 to 9 p.m. at Hope High School. Please get out to vote. I mean, it's so vitally important. One of the things that I heard today in my PNW superintendent's meeting is that not just here, but all around our surrounding districts, nobody came out to the budget presentation. So, does that mean everything's going well? I hope so, but it doesn't matter if you don't get out and vote. So please, there'll be information on our website. There'll be some stuff, I'm sure, put in the Mayapack News. We'll have the big, signs up in front of all the schools, but, again, May 17th. Also on your calendars, Wednesday night, May 11th, okay, from 5 to 6, I'll be doing tour number 1 at the high school. We just talked about the bond, and Mr. Del Campo spoke about the $54 million bond of work under phase 1. So there'll be a tour led by me from 5 to 6 at the high school, and then I'll take a half-hour break, and then I'll do another one from 6:30 to 7:30. So it'll be publicized. Melody's going to put it on the website, and it'll be in my update. So we'll give the community an opportunity, now that COVID is over and we can start walking around all the buildings, kind of take a look at the great spaces and things that have really been enhanced to the programs and what we're doing. So that's it, President Mondin. I thank you once again. I appreciate it. Back to you.
Absolutely, thank you very much. Again, exciting night. So we have we had committee reports. We had on April 5th, we had the good fortune of having a human resources committee meeting. President of the meeting were Superintendent DeCarlo, Mr. Vice President himself, Adam Savino, Trustee Dave Fafaro, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, Deborah Legato, and some guy that was zooming in from his car while driving home from New Jersey with a bad hum in the background at Mike Mongan. So what you have right here is, you've heard me every month because we do this every month, but it was a terrific meeting. You see the fruits of that of the labor that are in this agenda, the agenda for this evening. So again, many thanks to the committee, many thanks to Assistant Superintendent Legato, and to our Superintendent, Mr. Anthony DeCarlo. We'll continue on down to agenda items. We have 3 items on our agenda this evening before we go to motion. The consent Musacco will read letter C. So what I'd like to do right now is resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools that the Board of Education does hereby approve of the budget for the 2022-2023 school year in the amount of $133,011,332. What I'd like to do right now is get a motion to accept. So moved. Trustee Fafaro, can I get a second, please? Second. Trustee Martin? Was it Trustee Martin? Oh, it was, I'm sorry, it was Ray. I'm sorry, what's that? Ray got right on that, thank you very much. And I know Ben was right there, Ben had his hand going up. All in favor, please? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much. I'll turn right now for B and Mr. Savino, Vice President.
Good evening, everyone. We resolve, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, Board of Education, hereby approves the bus proposition for the 2022-2023 school year as follows. That the Board of Education of the North Central School District in the County of Putnam, New York, the district, is hereby authorized to purchase various school buses, vans, and related equipment for use by the district and to expend $1,160,000. Therefore, that a tax is hereby voted in the aggregate amount not to exceed $1,160,000 to pay such cost. Said tax to be levied and collected in installments in such years and in such amounts as shall be determined by said Board of Education. And that in anticipation of said tax, bonds of the district are hereby authorized to be issued in the principal amount not to exceed $1,160,000, and a tax is hereby voted to pay the interest on said bonds as the same shall become due and payable.
Okay, can we get a motion to accept, please? So moved. So moved. Uncle Martin, second, please.
Second.
Second. Adam Spino, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, over to C, Senior Trustee Lucy Musacco.
This is for the property tax report card. Resolved upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education does hereby approve the Lehigh Central School District 2022-23 property tax report card as per attached.
Okay, can we get a motion to accept, please? Vice President Savino, second. Second. Second, David Fafaro and Trustee Musacco, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you very much. And we go over to our consent agenda. Can I get a motion to accept this evening's consent agenda? Senior Trustee Musacco, second, please. Second, Trustee McDonough, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, and now we'll go right over to our resident comment area. Melanie? Yes, James Maxwell?
Before the prepared remarks, Michael and members of the board, thanks very much for hosting us tonight. We went through the details of this on Tuesday, and I thank you again for hosting us on Tuesday. The remarks for the board, the official remarks. On behalf of the combined Mayapack VFW and American Legion, I want to thank you for your consideration of expanding the existing veterans tax, to the same level as the town of Carmel. When we hear people say thank you for your service, it gives us pause to reflect on that service, the risk to life and limb, and the actual sacrifice, the family separation, mental and physical stress, and the list goes on. Yet fewer and fewer people show up for memorial services. The folks sitting out in the stands there are the folks that hold those services, and a lot of the public doesn't come anymore. Veterans represent less than 1% of our population. Less than 10% of that population served in a combat zone. Less than 10% of that group are combat disabled. Older veterans are increasingly being taxed out of their homes. Younger veterans can't afford to live in the community Increasing the tax exemption to the level that the town offers allows these older veterans to stay in their homes and provides younger veterans an opportunity to live in the community they grew up in. Increasing the tax exemption to the same level as the town is this community's opportunity to truly thank those men and women for their service. And like I thank you guys, and I thank these guys for all they do. These are really the trustees of the veterans. You guys are the trustees of our school system. We'll get you the details on this thing. The town is working on it, and we appreciate your consideration. Thanks for having us tonight.
Melissa, welcome.
Hello.
Good evening. So I'm finally here, one of our last hurrahs, and I do want to thank you for listening to me and sometimes answering questions. Sometimes I'm left unread, I think. But tonight, I'm really trying to focus on what's going to come for next year. And, as we know, in New York State, DOE continues to shove DEI and CRT down our throats. And I have many concerns about that. One thing I'd like to speak about is the word equality. And equality is something that we can all agree with. As a parent, I have taught my children that we are all equal, we are all unique. But in DEI, the E is actually standing for equity, which really means giving people what they need in order to make things fair. This can encourage people not to identify as members of a community, but rather identify with certain groups, race, sexual orientation, etc. And the consequences to that is there's division and segregation instead of unity. So I would say all we really need to do is go back to the old school way and teach our kids about equality and that we are all equal and we are all unique. And I think that is what is going to unite us as a community and as a nation. Thank you.